Tola Adekule Johnson. I'm not sure that conversation will hold today, but we'll get back to it as we continue to monitor this development very closely. Our attention right now is turned to the Benue crisis. What an eventful week it's been covering that story. It's now taking on renewed urgency. President Tinubu, after days of national outcry, made his first visit to Benue State since the latest killings. Arriving in Makurdi early on Wednesday, he visited the victims at the hospital, oversaw a town hall meeting at the government house. And at that town hall, President Tinubu called for a high-profile peace committee to include former governors, traditional rulers, the NSA, IGP, non-indigenous, military leadership, and what have you. They are tasked with ending the killings and delivering justice. He questions the lack of arrests, ordering the military to apprehend and prosecute those responsible. Yet, the response has been met with sharp critics. Stakeholders, including the Middle Belt Forum and Tortiv, warned that his visit, even though quite thoughtful, needs to pack more punch. They have now accused government interest of minimizing the violence by treating it as mere farmer-header clashes as against what they called outright land grabbing, ethnic cleansing, and political manipulation. Nigerians are watching to see whether this latest intervention will indeed deliver real action, or it's another round of empty promises. We'll continue that conversation today, and I'm joined by security expert Femi Aratokun. Mr. Aratokun, thank you for joining us on the program this evening. The president chose to meet in Makurdi rather than Yawata. We understand it's because of the rains and bad roads. But does this approach reflect strategic restraint or a missed opportunity to show federal resolve on the front line?
You see, let me first say good evening, Nifemi, and good evening, Nigerians, for having me on your show tonight. However, may the departed souls rest on. Have we learned anything from what just happened in Benue State recently? Have we learned anything from what's happened in the past? Not only in Benue State, in Borno State, in some northern states, even within the West, and even South and all the rest as well. Not leaving behind my own state, my own town, or our local government. Massacre seems to be happening everywhere, and the next thing you see the government, you see security bodies, you see government officials going in there and, attending more like their state official visit just to show their response. But just like you said, Nifemi, what exactly has been done? Have we achieved anything after all this? How many people can we say have been arrested so far? How many arrests have we seen? How many people seem to have been prosecuted so far? And what are the punishments being given? Or could we say capital punishment being given so far? None so far we've seen. So will the recent visit of the Mr. President create any solution so far? Everybody seems to be keeping eyes and, fingers crossed, like they will always say. Do we call this a political game change or whatsoever? Or do we have people within our country perpetrating this act and putting it under the disguise of farmers and headers and killings and ethnic clashing and stuff like that? These are the real things we want to see, and we want to do findings and do interviews and see how things are going to work. Or should we say the governor is just really unaware of what is going on, or just paying lip services to what is going on? It is a shame that this century, this present time, we are still talking about headers and clashes and farmers and ethnic killings and killings for no just reason. It is a shame, but I believe the government of today will see this as a way forward to do the right thing and do the needful.
There's the question of political will. The former spokesperson for the defense headquarters was on the show earlier this week, and his position has been that we haven't had so strong a political will to stop the killing in Benue State. Walk us through how it works. Do you think the military requires some form of motivation, or the need to read a sign from political leadership as to what to do and how to take on this challenge?
Thank you for that question, and I would totally disagree with you on this very note. They do not need any political will or any political interference from anyone. You are in the office, you are the military, you are faced with this kind of situation. You know what to do. The politicians are not the one with the armed, with the weapons. You are the one with the weapons. So you should be able to tell, you should be able to say to the government, this is how we should go if we want this country to grow. Every success, every country that is actually growing well today is down to its or our own security being performed very well. And if our security architecture is going down, then it is down again to our security architecture not being seriously into. I know our military officers can perform well if they want to. I know our police officers can perform well if they want to. But the question is, what is holding them back? Is it the funding? Is it the budget? Or what? Are they having budget costs? Or what exactly is the situation? What exactly are they dealing with that they cannot call the political leaders and call the community leaders in all these hostile areas and say to them, look, you know what is going on in your area. If you want us to intervene and bring peace, please allow us and be able and ready to work with us. We want people to work with them. They can work with them, but are they giving them the chances? Or are they not just people that are ready to work again in Nigeria? I believe so much in Nigeria. Nigeria can work if they want to work. Our police officers are ready, capable, but do they have the manpower, the capacity, and the necessary materials and weapons to fight with? Is what we should be asking. And so far, so good. How come the response has always been so slow? These are questions many people are asking, and they want answers. Absolutely. Except we see answers being given, then we might likely not see the end of this.
You heard the president call for a peace committee comprising of former governors, traditional leaders, and what have you. But in practice, how much impact can such a committee have in addressing armed actors in remote rural areas?
Well, calling on the governors, the past governors, and the past rulers to join hands together and make this work is a good step, but not putting or bringing in the youths. The youth of the day, they have a better say, more than bringing in the past governors. Because at the end of the day, the moment finances and cash is just moving around and exchanging hands, we will not achieve any results. Let us bring in those we know that can do this job. Allow them to do it. Let us do a change game. Let us bring a different strategy that will work better. Do not let us go by the book of what they did so many years ago and let us bring it back again. No, it might likely not work. And again, I heard you mention the fact that, yes, the president did not go to the main crime scene area. My question is this: what is the meteorologist in Nigeria doing? How come they can't forecast the weather that, oh, this is what the weather is going to look like, and because of this, we can't do this? Or perhaps, why can't we have a different route or a different transport system to make it happen? We need proactive government. Yes, the present government is trying its best in my own way. And do not let us forget, this issue is not just a today's issue. It's been happening over time. We have how many governors so far, and yet we are yet to resolve it. So something is definitely wrong somewhere. Until we get to the root of this matter, we might likely not see the end of it. And I pray, to me, we should get to the end.
You know, the biggest concern, Mr. Aratokun, has been why we haven't had significant arrests, given that this crisis has been on for almost a decade. What do you consider the operational or intelligence gaps that can explain this? And what should be the most effective immediate step forward?
Look, talking about how come we've not seen any arrests so far, the immediate step forward right now is to equally, just like you said, everyone has been saying it, organize your local security team. Empower them. Give them the best of the best training that is necessary for them to do this job. Create a welfare atmosphere for them that will make them work alongside with the military. Do not allow the military or the police to say, oh, because you are not in uniform, you can't talk to me. Allow the freedom of communication to happen between them. This is exactly what they need. Bring out openness. Allow anybody that is not working with them to be called out. We cannot just say because you're in military, we can't talk to you or we can't question your activities. Who knows what is what? Remember, the former Senate President, David Mark, came from this very state as well. What has been his impact so far? So bringing back Autumn and the rest of the past governors, in what way is it going to help? The people that want to work are really there. I'm not saying don't bring in the past governments or the past governors, but of what importance is all that? Let us see arrest made. Let us see who is who in within the local government. Let us see the rules where people are coming from. Let us see the footprints. Let us see the fingerprints, being done in such a way that we can now start attacking people in a very good and arrest manner. These are the things we need. I mean, empower the judiciary. Let us see swift action in prosecuting people that we believe or suspected to be armed men or, armed women doing things that are not meant to be. Without that, it's not going to work. Intelligence gathering and sharing should be an open and transparent one that, yes, people giving them intelligence must equally be protected as well. Without that, we might likely not see the end to this.
Absolutely. We saw on Wednesday the prominent Tiv traditional ruler emphasizing that this isn't just a header-farmer clash. He said it was massacre, it was land grabbing. And I don't know if you are aware of concerns in this regard. What strategic advantage might reframing the conflict offer? Because some are saying this is local terrorism. It isn't just about farmers and herders fighting. Do you see the need to rephrase this conflict, and how much change do you see it bring on the ground as regards response?
Thank you so much again, Nifemi, for this question. And if I may say, let us look at it geographically. Let us look at it from different angles. What type of resources do they have in Benue State, apart from the fact that we used to call them the food basket of the nation? The food basket of the nation is actually growing in a way whereby they are now hungry. They cannot even perform their yam festival again. So apart from land grabbing and all the rest, resource control might equally be the issue. So the question is what type of resources do they have there? What type of mineral resources are in Benue State that is causing all these issues that we are yet to resolve? Or will it be that we have outsiders empowering some people within the locals to cause mayhem? We don't need to say this is something that has to do with the North, no, or the South. They might be within themselves. But the question is this: why is it that all these things are happening within the local areas? That simply means something is definitely in all these local communities that we're not paying attention to. And that is what is causing all these killings. Because if you look at these killings, these are areas whereby there are no serious security reinforcement around them. No, some areas don't even have police stations. So they know where to target, and they know that these are soft spots whereby they can equally hit and perpetrate their acts and leave quickly and swiftly before the arrival of any security officers. But in the meantime, can things be done differently? Yes, things can be done differently. Can we work together with our criminology students to find out what exactly is going on? Can we work exactly with our DSS? Can we work with different intelligence groups? Can we work with our local hunters and know exactly what is going on? And let us fish out where the problem is exactly.
Let's take a short break, Mr. Aratokun, and we'll be back with more on this conversation. Stay with us, everyone. Security expert Aratokun, thank you for staying the course on the program. Reports cite over 500 deaths in Benue this year with repeated attacks. Let us begin to look at the potential solutions that Mr. Governor is proposing. It's been big on state policing. How effective is that, and what do you think is stalling it?
Nifemi, you're asking a very serious question that you want me to give an answer to on national TV. I will do, but the fact is this: state policing is not something that is not going to work. But our present police architecture, what has it become of us today? We don't see them as a police unit whereby we need to respect. We don't even regard them. So how are you sure we're going to regard the state policing program that we're about to form or that people are crying for? I'm not saying state policing is not a good way or is not a good pattern or another team to help. But how many security units do we have so far that yet they cannot still work together? The police are still finding it to work together alongside with civil defense. The police are finding it hard to work together with the man o' wars. The police are finding it hard together to work with the vigilantes. The police are finding it hard to work with the member of the public. So when we now create state policing, what role are they going to play? In what context are they going to be acting? And at the same time, where is the budget? Who is going to fund it? How resourceful are they going to be? What is going to be their capacity at the end of the day? Can we really trust them? Or could it be politically hijacked again? Like other state architecture will say, oh, we can do this, we can do that. At the end of the day, it's not happening. Take, for example, Aratokun today. What has become of Aratokun? Let alone creating a state police unit that might probably not see the end of the day or probably even see the brighter side of the day. It might probably be a project that we can call dead on arrival. So I'm not saying state policing is not the best way, but are we actually ready to do it? If we're ready to do it, let us first clean and make sure that our national police force are at least 70% ready to accommodate state policing.
Well, the expectation is that governors should be able to fund it now. I remember having a conversation with the Nasarawa state governor.
Are the governors ready to even fund vigilantes in the first place? They can't even fund vigilantes.
Yes.
Nifemi, the governors are not ready to fund vigilantes. The governors are not ready to fund their local security architectures, let alone funding the state policing. It is equally not a practical thing.
Interestingly, some of them now acknowledge more funding from the federal allocation. The Nasarawa state governor specifically mentioned that his state is able to fund state police and they are looking forward to it. But I want us to quickly touch on the concept of self-defense because that's a critical topic in this conversation. Individuals, stakeholders saying that, you know what, you can't just watch your community being ransacked by these headers or these terrorists, whatever it is, people have chosen to call them. How do we draw the line between right to life and being able to defend yourself in situations of this nature?
Thank you so much. Femi that is talking to the whole Nigeria today is a close protection officer in the United Kingdom, and I do come down to Nigeria to deliver training program to the Nigerian Police, Civil Defense, and all the rest, and private security as well. However, self-defense can work, but for self-defense to work, we need to draw a line. What type of self-defense do we want to bring on board to make it work in different states? We have different kind of threats in different states. So we're not talking about bringing in ammunition, guns, machete, and all the rest. No, self-defense can work in different ways, and it all depends on the kind of training we want to give to individuals or public or member of the public in line with self-defense. It is not just about karate or judo. It is not about just acquiring weapons. It's all about the tactical way to make sure that we're able to govern our environment. That is the way I can actually define my own self-defense for members of the public and for communities. It is not just about giving them weapons or right to life. I'm not saying we still don't practice jungle justice in Nigeria. Don't let us shy away from it. But no, that is not the case. Let us even nip and know exactly where the problems are coming from. Then if we can tell where the problems are from, then self-defense will be able to work. Self-defense will work by the time we really, really empower our local security architecture, our community hunters, and the rest like that. If we can empower them, self-defense will work. But if we cannot, it's not going to work. Let us give our women, our market women, the kind of understanding they need to know, the kind of security ideas they need to have in place so that they can actually foresee what is coming to them. Let us give our farmers and hunters understanding of what security training is all about. That is part of self-defense. Talking about giving them weapons because that is the end result, no, to me, is not going to work because we will take laws into our hands in a very different way. And we don't want that in Nigeria today.
And that's very important because the community members indeed are critical stakeholders in all of this. We saw them pick up placards in protest following the latest attack. But they're also very critical when it comes to intelligence that security operatives need to drive the onslaught against this challenge. But how do we bridge that gap of trust, especially when you consider what has happened in the past? The issue in Yawata, for instance, we understand that the police officers at the police station closest to that community put up a good fight. They were the first point of attack for the invaders, And the moment they were able to subdue them, it was easy to evade the community. They operated for quite a number of hours before any form of a rescue could come. But how do community members begin to trust security agencies so that they can supply the needed intelligence needed to be able to nip this in the bud?
You see, the government of the day, just like I said, is really trying, and then the openness to how things does work within the community has got to be hands-on. When I mean openness, simply means the members of the security architecture or security team working alongside and holding meetings with the locals, perhaps maybe every week or every 2 weeks, depending on the situation over there. They need to just have it. Not only that, we need to see visible security patrols. We need to see technology working in place right now. Not just ordinary technology, but visible technology working in place. Remember, Nifemi, every quarterly or maybe every month, there's what you call the security budget vote. What does it cost each state? Having what you call the police helicopter, hovering around. Even if nothing is happening, let us see them in the night with their Google vision and everything hovering around. We can't see anything. So how do you want transparency to happen? We just don't want to see our security only patrolling in the daytime. We want to see them patrolling in the nighttime. That is how you can see self-peace to everyone. And this is where openness and transparency can start coming in. That, okay, you can walk to the police station, report a case, and they act swiftly. You can see the police or the security team coming down to different locations and discussing and talking to gather information from them and keeping, those giving them information safe. That matters a lot. Without that, we might probably not see any good result happening these days.
Good place to leave it. Aratokun, security expert, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on the program this evening.
Thank you so much for having me.
All eyes on Benue and indeed the North Central. Hopefully we'll begin to see some significant impact of Mr. President's visit and the kind of attention that the latest attack has gotten from the federal government. That's our show today. You can watch it again at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nife.